The Coffee Hour. Welcome to Coffee with our morning host. We broadcast a host of programs like current topics, newspaper headlines, and music on Radio Sri Lanka. Tune in every weekday from 7 to 8 a.m.
Today it's all about cycling on the Coffee Hour and how important it is to cycle and the benefits of it, and why do you have to have cycling as your lifestyle, a part of life. So today, representing Ride for Sri Lanka, Ride for Life Sri Lanka as the president, we have with us Dr. Asela Abeydeera, and he's going to talk about cycling and its benefits. Good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning.
And it's amazing having you here this morning, and I saw you cycling to SLBC.
Yeah, I was cycling from Piliandala to SLBC this morning with a little bit of rain.
I was about to ask, it's raining now, but then when you halfway through, I probably presumed that it started raining then.
Yeah.
So, it's a difficult situation when it rains, isn't it?
When you are a cyclist, you are accepting all the weather conditions. So as a cyclist, I noticed that there are going to be rain in the morning, so I didn't change my mode of mobility. Mm-hmm. I started cycling, and midway there was a bit of rain, and I had my umbrella. And if not, I usually have a raincoat also, and it's not a problem for me, and not a problem for most of the cyclists.
If you're into cycling and if you've made it a lifestyle, I think right. You would know the precautions to take. Yes. Even if you travel by bike, you still have to face that, isn't it?
That's right.
So what specific health benefits can be derived from regular cycling compared to other forms of exercise?
Yeah, actually now Sri Lankan nation, not only Sri Lankan nation, the whole world is becoming lethargic. Whole world is becoming, the lifestyle is becoming sedentary.
No, Vienna is not very happy about this.
Yeah, so that's a bitter truth. We are seeing, as medical doctors, we are seeing a lot of patients, a lot of people who are victims of non-communicable diseases, hypertension, high blood pressure, heart attacks, myocardial infarction, and the strokes and diabetes, and everybody is having cholesterol. So that's NCD. So NCD is a result of the sedentary lifestyle and mental stress. So some mode of exercises is essential for anyone to have a healthy lifestyle.
So is this also a form of prevention?
Yeah, it's a prevention. Mm-hmm. If somebody cycles, say like minimum, if somebody cycles 50 kilometers a week, for the whole week, 50 kilometers, not even 10 kilometers a day, mm-hmm. will prevent, will reduce the risk of having a heart attack by 40%, will reduce the chance of having a cancer by 50%, and will reduce the chance of getting a stroke by around 50%, and overall you have a reduced risk of dying early, premature death by 50%. So amazing, unbelievable benefits. Yes.
And are there any particular age groups or populations that can benefit the most from incorporating
any age
cycling?
You can. We started cycling at 5 years. It's basically I am from Mathura. Mathura was popular as a cycling city, Mathura and Jaffna. So still Jaffna is still cycling. But other cities are now changing. So we started at 5 years, and when we were schooling, when we were in the university, we were cycling. So, and we continue cycling, and we experience the benefits.
And are there any psychological benefits of cycling, Doctor, and how does it impact the mental well-being?
Yeah, so it's said that to cycle, I mean, to go on cycling, you have to have the balance. When you have balance, you cycle. So it's not just balancing two wheels, but it is balancing the whole life. So when you cycle, you see things, you meet people, not like in a car. When you have your air conditions on, all the glasses are up, you don't see anyone. So you just have a tunnel vision on your road. So when you cycle, you look at the others.
You're with nature.
Yeah, with
basically.
nature. You are seeing people around. You are seeing the beauty of the nature. So it's amazing. You have to cycle and see how it is.
Very true. Now, I think I need to learn how to cycle. I mean, I'm giving something away, which doesn't sound good for me. But still, yes, I think I need to learn balancing two wheels.
That's right.
Now, before we move on to more interesting questions, so we've got some music too, because music and cycling also goes hand in hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but there's a song. Everybody knows that song. That song actually kind of demotivated people that the cycle is the vehicle of the poor man.
Oh no!
So that song, I don't like that song. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but it's not. I mean, bicycle is not the vehicle of the poor man. Now, bicycle is the vehicle of anyone who is, richest of rich.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some don't use it as a mode of transport, but they use it for some reason or the other. And we've been speaking about how important cycling is and also about the health benefits and mental benefits cycling can provide to an individual. But are there any specific guidelines or recommendations on the duration and intensity of cycling for optimal health benefits? Is there something like that?
Yeah, it always depends. Depends on the person, depends on the person's health, age, and for what purpose cycling is used. So somebody who is going to work by bike, 10 to 20 kilometers, any person can ride. Cycling 10 kilometers is nothing. 5 kilometers is absolutely nothing. When you get into the cycle, you will never feel that you were riding this much of distance. I mean, it's easy. So as I mentioned earlier, say like 10 kilometers a day will give you most of the benefit I have mentioned earlier.
With regards to cycling.
Yeah.
And speaking of riding to work, now there are things like, let's say when you cycle, you end up, this is a tropical country.
Yeah.
So you end up sweating, and then again also there are a lot of other vehicles on the road, and we don't have cycling pathways in every single area,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So what about safety, Doctor?
Yeah, that's a challenge in Sri Lanka. I mean, we have been cycling for years and we experience, unpleasant incidents. So as you correctly mentioned that there are no dedicated cycling pathways or cycling lanes in most of the roads. I mean, only a few roads have at least cycling lanes drawn on the road, but it doesn't give you the full safety. So you have to share the road with the motorists, buses, lorries, cars, motorcycles, three-wheelers, everyone. So sometimes not every driver respects cyclists. Sometimes they try to drive on the cycling lane, they overtake and cut you. So you have to be very vigilant when you are cycling. And it's your responsibility also. We can't expect anyone everyone to take care of you. It's your responsibility to cycle safely and to obey the road rules and look at the others, look at the vehicles, how they behave. So when you have taken extra care while you are cycling, you can cycle safe. But still, we urge governments and authorities to establish safe cycling environments, infrastructure to promote this. I mean, there are a lot of, in addition to the health benefit, there are a lot of other benefits also in cycling.
Exactly. And does cycling also offer any advantages of other aerobic exercises in terms of like joint impact or maybe injury prevention and all that?
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, if you jog, I mean, if you run, running can cause direct impacts on your knee joints. So the body weight comes to your knee joints. But when you are cycling, the weight goes to the seat, weight goes to the bicycle, and your knees are not affected. So cycling is a better exercise for anyone who is having knee problems, and anyone who is expecting to do, I mean, continue exercises for a long time. So I'm not discouraging running for younger people, those who are athletes, they can run, but elderly people, say like people over 40, 50, they can always go for cycling, especially those who are overweight.
Mm-hmm.
They can
because
cycle.
It's a strain on their knees when they walk too, isn't it?
Yeah,
like even
if they walk too, yes.
Exactly.
So cycling will eliminate all these weight bearing issues, and it strengthens the leg muscles and cycling is an exercise for whole body. It's not for the legs only.
Exactly, because it's an overall activity, I would say, because you are doing some cardio when you cycle, and at the same time it's good for overall weight loss.
Yeah, and your psychological benefits are also there. It's a big part.
It does play a massive role, because when you see nature too, you feel better.
That's right.
Instead of like being inside a vehicle, as you said, like having a tunnel vision.
That's right.
So doctor, I also previously mentioned about when getting to work, you sweat and all that when you cycle. But what do you think the workplaces should do in terms of encouraging people to cycle to work? Yeah,
actually, we have been lobbying with the different authorities, including the Presidential Secretariat, for last 4 years. And we have been talking to the authorities to establish minimum requirements for cycling. One of the requirements is to have cycling-friendly environments within the office premises. The first thing is to have a place for bicycle parking, and there has to be a place for changing. I mean, to have a bath and change. So that's important. Some of the offices, some of the places where I worked earlier had those things, but unfortunately the current place doesn't have. So we try hard to incorporate, and we try hard to convince the authorities to regulate, to have a new regulation, new recommendations for all the government and non-government officers, workplaces, to have minimum cycling environments, facilities. Yeah,
exactly. I think it goes both ways now. It's about us having an overall knowledge about how cycling really makes us a better person overall, and also helps in a lot of aerobic exercises, and then again it's better for your cardio health and overall health as well. Yeah. But at the same time, even the employer should probably think on the same lines, and also arrange a space for everyone so that they'll be encouraged to cycle to work.
No, this is happening now. I mean, this is happening now with, during the COVID times, we were talking, and we were writing to several organizations, say like most of the famous supermarket chains. We had been communicating with them. Some of the supermarkets have established bicycle parks, and we are still see some of the 5-star hotels. If you walk into some of the 5-star hotels in Colombo, there are dedicated bicycle parks, and most of the private banks have their cycling infrastructure, and they promote people to come by bicycles, say like cycling Fridays. So every Friday the car parks are closed, and the employees are...
You have no other option but to cycle, or not a good idea for me.
They have to walk, or they have to use public transport.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a very good initiation, I would say, because it's about encouraging people to use any mode of transport apart from convenient transport, which gives them a taste of everything. And doctor, how does cycling really improve lung health? Because I believe that you end up breathing a lot of surrounding air, and the air is not very great in Sri Lanka or elsewhere, because we see a lot of carbon pollution going on.
You correctly mentioned about the pollution. So Colombo and Kandy are the most worst affected cities in Sri Lanka.
Isn't it because we see a lot of vehicles on the road than cycles?
To Colombo city, daily more than 500,000 vehicles enter. So, 8 of these 500 vehicles are, they are private cars, motorbikes, private vehicles. And they carry all these private vehicles. 85% of these vehicles carry only 40% of people who are entering the city. 50% of the public transport, the trains, buses and other public vehicles carry rest 60%. So most of the vehicles entering Colombo city, the cars are, either driver only or driver and one person. So that every vehicle emits some fume. So every car driven for 1 kilometer will emit 250 grams of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And when you drive a car for 4 kilometers, it's 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emitted into the atmosphere.
Sounds very scary, isn't it?
Yeah. In addition to carbon dioxide, there are particles. There's
nicotine,
poisonous gas, and there's a gauge. There's a parameter called air quality index. Air quality index is measured in most of the cities in the country and all over the world, and the air quality, the quality of air in Colombo city is always, most of the time unhealthy. It's not suitable for breathing. So once you breathe this air, Colombo city air, for a long time, for years, you end up with lung diseases, the asthma, allergic conditions, and especially those who are sensitive people, those who are having asthma, wheezing, they can aggravate their illnesses. So to prevent air getting polluted, to prevent this unhealthy air being produced in Colombo city, cycling is one of the best solutions.
Exactly, and I think since we speak a lot about going green and about saving the environment, and a couple of days ago it was World Environment Day as well.
Yeah.
So I think cycling plays a major role, and every individual needs to play a part in protecting the environment. Right. So maybe shifting to cycling is also another contribution to going green.
That's right.
You're listening to Coffee Hour with Dr. Asela, speaking about the benefits of cycling, and we did say that how cycling can contribute to a greener world and also to the environment overall. But there's also economical benefits, isn't it, Doctor?
Yeah, cycling saves money. Cycling saves money as a person, cycling saves money as a community, cycling saves money as a country, cycling saves money as the whole world. So somebody cycles, in the current scenario, driving a vehicle for 1 kilometer, maybe you need to spend 100 rupees or more. It's not just the cost of fuel, the tire waste, the lubricants, services, and everything. And in addition, how much your carbon footprint is reduced. So when everything is calculated, it's definitely more than 100 rupees a kilometer. So I'm riding at least 20 kilometers a day. So it's 2,000 rupees minimum is saved a day by cycling. So somebody who rides more, who rides a bicycle for longer distances, save a lot of money. I know some person who was cycling from Polgasovita even beyond Piliandala to Colombo for 36 years.
Wow.
and he was riding 50 kilometers up and down, 50 kilometers a day, 25 up and down, and he has saved 6 million rupees, minimum 6 million rupees during his career. So it's like that, and end of the day, not only you save, when you preserve fuel for the other people, for the country, then the fuel imports reduce, then country is benefited. Country is benefited in many ways, saving money, saving environment, everything. So cycling can save a lot of money. That's one of the other benefits.
Exactly. And we've come towards the latter part of the coffee hour as well, Doctor. And before we wind things up, let's also quickly touch on how and the precautions people with medical ailments should take before starting to cycle.
Starting to cycle, anyone can start cycling, say like for 1 kilometer, anyone can start cycling. So those who are recovering from heart diseases, those who have undergone, say like cardiac bypass surgeries, serious illnesses, maybe they have to take, get advices from their physicians before starting cycling. But cycling is not a vigorous exercise unless you ride, unless you ride, you race. It's always, kind of relax exercise. Anyone can start.
Exactly.
So there are no barriers, no limits for cycling.
And that's some good advice for everybody out there. And we're here to spread awareness as well on the importance of cycling on Radio Sri Lanka, because isn't it our duty being a public awareness radio and the state radio? So thank you so much, Dr. Asela, for speaking on the benefits of cycling. And you're an example and an inspiration to many, because I did see you cycle and you keep to the word. And at the same time, I presume you've got to cycle back to work again.
Yeah, that's right.
To the hospital.
Yes.
So thank you so much once again for being a part of the Coffee Hour.
Thank you very much.
The Coffee Hour. Welcome to Coffee with our morning host. We broadcast a host of programs like current topics, newspaper headlines, and music on Radio Sri Lanka. Tune in every weekday from 7 to 8 a.m.